All right, I'm back with another Sudoku today. This one looks very interesting. It's actually the first 9x9 Sudoku ever created by this setter, apparently, but it was recommended by people. They say it was really good. They enjoyed it, so I thought I'd try it out. This is, it's a normal 9x9 Sudoku. Now, it looks like it's like an 11x11 or whatever, but that's just because we have the fog of war and there's probably outside clues and stuff. So it's normal 9x9 Sudoku, so we need to put the digits 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3x3 box without repeating, just like normal. It's just this middle grid here, and then the outside stuff is sort of the outer edge of the grid. So don't be confused by that. We also have fog, so you'll notice all these cells are gray. We only have a few that we can see right now, and as we put in correct digits, it will reveal more of the cells and the clues. We have normal killer Sudoku, so the cages, digits in a cage sum to the number in the corner of the cage. So if you had a cage up here, let's say an L-shaped cage right there, right? We have some cages down here, but they're sort of incomplete. So let's just say there was an L-shaped cage right there, sum to 6. You'd have a 6 in the corner, and you could put a 1, a 2, and a 3 in there, and that would be fine. Or you could do a 1, a 3, and a 2, and that would be fine in any order, but you can't repeat a digit. So you couldn't do like 1, 1, and 4. And of course, you can't repeat a digit in the box anyways, but let's just pretend for a second that the cage went this way. Those ones would be okay by Sudoku, but you can't repeat a digit in a cage. And the sum in the cage is always in the leftmost cell of the topmost row. And that's important, I think, probably because of how the toroidal thing works. So we haven't got to that yet, but we also have green lines. You can see part of one down here. These are German whisper lines, and so consecutive digits along a German whisper line have to differ by at least 5. And we have a gray square down here, which is an even. And then finally, there's toroidal stuff, and this is why we have these extra space around the grid here to help you see that. But essentially, all of the clues, like lines and cages and things, can wrap around. So you'll notice this 8 cage just sort of, it doesn't have a right edge on it. So this cell here, this cage is going to continue over here. If it goes off the right side, it continues on the left. If it goes off the top, it continues on the bottom, vice versa. And yeah, that's all we need to know. So I am going to link in the description if you want to try this yourself. I'm going to give it a shot now. I'm going to reset the timer. We will see how this goes. Okay. So, I mean, this 12 cage clearly includes at least these 3 cells, and it goes off the bottom, so it's going to include that. Those are all going to be, maybe I'll do, I don't know if I'm going to leave this coloring in there, but I'm going to color some things right now. So at least those 4 are included. Now, can you do a 12 cage with 5 digits? That's one thing to ask. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the minimum, which is 15. So the answer is no, you can't. So I think it has to be those 4. That is the 12 cage. So we also know these 2, and a 12 cage, you can play around with the numbers, but I know that in a 12 cage in 4 cells, you have to have a 1 and a 2, and the other 2 are going to be 3, 6, or 4, 5, because the 1 and 2 is 3, the other 2 have to add to 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 6, or 1, 2, 4, 5, and we have to have a small and a big. With German whispers, since they have to differ by 5, you can say that they alternate big and small, 1 to 4 and 6 to 9, because the smallest you can have is 1, and if you have to be a difference of 5, you got to be at least 6, and vice versa. You're going to jump back and forth across the 5, basically. So if we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, well, 1, 2, 4, 5 isn't going to have a big digit. You need something in 6, 7, 8, or 9. So it's going to have to be 1, 2, 3, 6. So let's put some pencil marks in there. We've got that much. Now, we don't have a digit yet, but we're getting somewhere. And the 6 has to be one of them on the green line here, right? So these can't be the 6. But unfortunately, 6 can be across from, no. See, I've done so many 6x6s recently. I'm thinking differently. The 6 has to be with the 1. The 6 has to be with the 1. So that has to be 1, 6. These are 2 and 3. Now the 8 cage, we can probably do something similar. And it's even. It's even. Okay, so this goes off the side over here. So it's at least 2 cells, right? Let's make that red. It could be 3 cells, but it has to be 2 or 3 because you can't do 8 and 4. And if you do 8 and 3, it has to have a 1. So let's pretend that it's well, if it's, let's say if it's 2. what can you do? How can you make 8 and 2? Well, 1, 7, but one of them has to be an even. And in fact, since you're making a sum of 8 and 2, if one of them's even, the other one's even too. So how can you do it with even? Well, you can't do 1, 7. You can't do 3, 5. It would have to be 2, 6. So this would have to be 2, 6 if it's 2 cells. If it's... And this would actually have to be a 2. It would be 2 and 6. If it's... No, it can't be 2, 6. It can't be 2, 6 because you've got the 1, 6 here. So it rules out 6 for both of them. So this can't be 2. So this is 3 cells. Now, we don't know where the third cell... We do know where the third cell is. We do know where the third cell is because the sum is in the leftmost cell of the topmost row. So if we came over here with the third cell of the 8 cage, this is where you would put the 8, not down here. So it has to be there, and it has to be a 3. Oh, okay, so I broke something, because in order to do 8 and 3, you have to have 1. You have to have a 1. Column 9 is considered left of column 1. Row 9 is considered above. Oh, okay. I didn't read the instructions fully enough. For toroidal cages, column 9 is considered left of column 1, which makes sense because we've got the 8 in there. And row 9 is considered above row 1. So what we can actually do is we can put the third cell right there. It goes 8. The 8 cage goes from there to there and there. And therefore, it's a 3-cell 8 cage. It needs to have a 1. Neither of these can be a 1. This is a 1. That's our first digit. And it's correct because it cleared out some fog. If you don't get it right, it won't clear out the fog. Now, you could just guess random numbers to clear out fog, but what's the fun in that, right? So it's 1, and then it has to be 2, 5, or 3, 4. We know this one is an even, so it's the 2 or the 4. And this one is the 3 or the 5. Okay. So that's something. We've got something to work on. Let's see. Where do we want to go from here? Well, we know this cage goes over here. But we don't know its sum because... okay. And, there's a cage here. Look at this. This goes off this side and out here. Both. But I mean, it could be a lot bigger than that. We don't really know because we don't have the sum for it. Okay. So where do we go from here? I mean, we've got the German whisper here, but I don't know how helpful that is at this point. I mean, this cage is pretty big. It definitely goes here. In fact, there's no edge, so it includes all of these and at least those. So that's 8 cells. And, oh man, if we could make it a 9-cell cage, we would know it would have to have a 1 in it. And then we could place the 1 up here. But we don't know for sure that it has a 1 in it because I think I can only force it to be 8 cells right now. Because we know it doesn't include these two because you can see the way the cage bends. So it's at least these. And it goes off the top. And I don't think we can say... Can we say that it doesn't? Let me think about how this works. If it was just this, we would see the cage here, wouldn't we? So it does include all of these and this one and this one. No, sorry. Those are off the grid. So it's these two. So 2, 4, 6, 7. It includes 9 cells. This has to have all 9 digits in it. Well, what 9 digits can we put in there? obviously 1 through 9. We have to have a 1. Where can you put a 1? You can't put it down here because of the 1, 6. You can't put it up there because of the 1 in the box. Oh, it's this cell. Sorry, not outside. But this is a 1. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. Oh, this is the German whisper comes across here. Okay, so also we can say these two cells are not in the cage. So basically these 6 digits, we know they're all different. The other 3 in the cage, which are these 3, have to be the other 3 digits besides those 6. So it's the 1 and it's these 2 here. So these 2 are these 2, and obviously these can't be the same. So these 2 are the same digit. Those 2 are the same digit. I mean, we know they can't be a 6, so we can't put a 6 here for whatever that's worth. Well, let's color the I'm gonna do purple. I'm gonna do every other cell purple because those, high low. We're doing. Let's do purple and I don't know, purple and green. Purple and green. Not to be confused with coloring the cages. This is high low. The 16 is interesting. We've got 3 cells here, but you can do a 16 and 4. In fact, you can do a 16 and 5. Okay, so that's not very helpful. But we've got 3. There's only, so this is either high or low, right? If these are low, if the purples are low, none of them can be a 1, so they would have to be 2, 3, 4. Now, if you put a 4, you have to have a 9 next to it. But it seems okay. I don't see any reason why that doesn't work. Well, this would have to be the 4. Because look, we've got 2, 3 there. So this would have to be the 4. 9. Those would be 2 and 3. That seems like it would work. That would make these, but that would make these 2 and 3. Because remember, these 2 are these 2. These would be 2 and 3. And if you take out 2 and 3, you have 4, 5. But that doesn't work because this has to be 2, 5 or 3, 4. So actually, those can't be low. Wow, I don't know if there was a better way to see that, but that's the way I did it. So these are high. These are low. The greens. And so this can't be 4 because it would force 2 9s in the row there. This one can't be 4 because it would force 2 9s in the row. So now we have a 2, 3 pair in this box as well. We know these 2 are the same digit. I don't know how much that helps. We know, and remember the 1, 6 down here. So these 2 can't be a 6, which means these 2 can't be a 6. So those are 7, 8, 9. Well, they can't be a 6 anyways, because this would have to be a 1, and it can't be a 1. And I feel like it's getting dark in here, and I'm gonna adjust. All right, there we go. We'll see if that's better. And this can't be a 6 for the same reason, because you can't have a 1. You'd have to have a 1 next to it. So these are 7, 8, 9. We have a 7, 8, 9 triple. Interesting. So wherever the 7 is, it's going to force the 2 next to it. So one of these is a 2. But they could both be 2s, couldn't they? I think they could. Okay, but now that we have a 7, 8, or 9, that's going to limit our 16 cage, because one of them's pretty big. So we know this is at least 3 cells. Could it be more than 3 cells? Could you do 4 cells? I mean, with a 7, let's just go with the smallest, the best situation. Yeah, you can, because you'd have 9 and 3, which would work. It'd be tricky. No, you can't. Because look, we've already used 1, 2, and 3 in the box. These are at least minimum 4, 5. Oh, so the minimum 4 and 5 and 7 it's got to be what it is. So this is a 7. which gives us the 2 there. These are not 7. Therefore, this could still be 2 or 3. But these are 6, 8, and 9. We've got another German whisper line down here. But, okay, I'm going to get rid of the coloring on this German whisper because we don't really need it anymore. We already know what those digits are, or at least what the options are. 4, 5, 7. We've got the 2, 3, 1, 6. Oh, the 2. The 2 up here. So this is now a 4. This has to be a 3 because that's the 8 cage. 4, 1, 3. The 45 cage, just like we thought. That's the big one that we saw. So these are 8 and 9. Because remember, they're the same as these 2 up here. We've got more German whisper stuff going on here. Let's see. What do we do next? There's another cage here, which goes off the grid and up, but until we know the sum of that, I don't know that that's super helpful. We do know the digits across here. These are 2, 5, and 7. Whatever that's worth. And this is a 3, right, because of the 2. This is therefore a 2. Okay. Now we're revealing some more stuff. There's a 41 cage. It doesn't necessarily connect to there, but that would be interesting. 41 is going to be a pretty big cage. It can only be missing at most 2 digits because all 9 digits together is 45. So it could be missing a 4, or it could be missing a 1 and a 3. But other than that, I don't know what to do with that. So, where do we go now? Where do we go now? I mean, this is... Well, we've got 1, 2, and 4. So the 3 has to be on here because there's a low and a high on this German whisper line, right? And the 3 can't be there. So this is the 3, okay? Good. Oh, and the 12 cage. So this is 3 and 9. The 41 does not connect down there. The 41 goes off the side. And now we know, what do we know? Well, we don't know much. This could still come over here and go up higher because this would still be the leftmost of the topmost. Now, it can't come across and, like, I don't know, go up there or something, right? But it can't anyways because we know this is part of that other cage. But interesting. Okay, so we've got the 9 and the 3. Now, that's a 3. This has to be 8 or 9 because it has to be at least 5 different. So 5, 7, 8, 9 is what we have left. This is 5, 7, or 8, 9. Yeah, that's not super helpful, is it? Oh, well, the 9, this can't be a 9. So the 9 is definitely in there, which means these are not 9, which means the 9 is right there. Okay, that's something. So 5, 7, 5, 7, 8. These 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? Yeah, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We still don't know. This could either be missing a 4 or missing a 1 and a 3. We don't even know for sure where. We know it comes over here, but we don't know where it goes from there, so it's not super helpful. 4, 5, 6. Got 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8 in the column. And in fact, this is something. Okay, so let's look at the column. 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8 is what we're missing in the column. But notice there's no 8. I guess we have 1, 4, 5, and 6. There's no 8 here, so this can't have an 8. That's not as helpful as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so it's 5, 6, and 7. There's definitely an 8 in here. We have the 2 and a 3 over here, but we don't know for sure what else. Okay. Where am I supposed to be looking? There's something I'm supposed to be seeing now. I don't know where I'm looking. There's the 3 can't be in here. 7 and 2 can't be here. 3 is in one of those. But I don't know what else to do with that. we supposed to be doing something with these other German whispers or with the cages? We already know about this cage. That's the 45 cage. And this one is 41, but we don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Because we don't know where it goes over there. And this cage, I mean, this could be the 41 cage. We don't really know, right? I mean, it could be something like that. That would be 7 cells. You could be missing the 1 and the 3. But we don't know for sure that that's where it goes. This cage, it comes... Well, okay, so let's think about this. This is at least those 3. Now, we don't have the sum yet. The sum has to be in the leftmost cell of the topmost row. But it could be right there. It could just be like the 3 cells, right? And the total could be right there. I feel like that's possible. Could just be those 3. We don't really know. And I feel like there's not much else we can do with these German whispers right now, but maybe we need to. Okay, well this one... I mean, okay, well, so we do know that it goes at least these 3 cells. So these 2 are, let's go back and do, I don't know, let's do green and purple again, right? The greens are the same high-low parity, and these can't be 2 or 3. Ah, so if these were low, they'd be 1 and 4. Okay, I didn't think we'd get much from this, but look, if these are low, they're 1 and 4, which the 4 forces a 9 in the high, but we can't because of the 8 and 9, we can't put that. So these actually have to be low, which are 6 and 7, and that one of them being a 6 means that has to be a 1. Okay. Okay, I didn't think we were going to get much from that, but we're also going to be able to eliminate the 7s from there, which makes that a 7. All right, that was a lot more help than I thought it was going to be. Sometimes it's worth trying things. Okay, and now we can see that these connect here, which is going to connect to that. So I think that has to be the... And we can't put a 1 or a 3 in any of those. So that's 7 cells. We can either do 7 and miss the 1 and the 3, because 45 minus 4 is 41. Or it's 8 cells and we're just missing a 4, in which case we'd have to put a 1 and a 3 in there, but we can't. So that is that cage. Let's make it... I think that's orange. I'm going to get rid of the green and purple here. I don't want to over-color things if we can help it. So I'm leaving these colors on these other cages for now, but we'll see. So there's no 1 or 3. These are not... we can't quite... 5, 6, well, we know it has to have a 2 and a 4, and a 9. 2, 4, and 9. And then it's going to have a 5, 6, 7, or 8. But I'm not sure which one. But it definitely has a 2, 4... and a 9. Let's go 2, 4, 9 that way. So there's definitely a 9, which means this is 8 and 9, and this is 8 and 9, and these are not... wrong kind of 9. There we go. These are not 9. So the 9 is here, and it's not there because the 9 on the right side. So this is a 9. These definitely have 2 and 4. That one's not 2. 6, 7, 5, 8 across there. So what are we missing in this row? Let's look at that. We need 1, 3, 4, and 9. This one's not 1, 3, or 9. So this is the 4. Those are not 4s. These are not 4s. So these are... Well, let's do over here. We need 2 and 5. 2 and 5. Okay. And these are... 4, 6, and 8? 4, 6, 8? Yeah. 4, 6, and 8. Okay. I guess maybe let's look at this German whisper up here. Why not? I mean, it was helpful before. Let's go back to our purple and our green. So if this was high, it would have to be a 6. It would have to be a 6 with a 1. If this is low, it's 1, 3, or 4. Which gives you a lot of options there. Okay, that one's not as helpful. Not yet, anyways. It will be eventually. Can we do anything more with this cage up here? I still don't know that we can. We know there's a 1 down here somewhere. Well, this is low. So this is 1, 3, or 4. But since it's next to the 9, it could be any of those. There's a 1 in here. There's... What else can we do? 5, 6, 7. So we get 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for the orange cage. This can't be the 8. This can't be 8 because of the 8 up there. These can't be 8. This has to be the 8, which gives us a 5 there. And makes this a 6. So these are not 6s. Very nice. These are not 5s. And then these are not 6s. Okay. Oh, the 5 down here makes this a 4 and a 5. Very good. And 4, 6, 8. Okay, yeah, we still don't know those. I feel like the light is flickering above me, so if you can see it on screen, I apologize for the flickering light. If you can't see it on screen, then, you know, just ignore me. These are like colored for some reason. I think that's maybe a mistake, but that's all right. So 5 and 7 over here in the orange cage means you can't put a 5 in the orange over here, so this is a 2. And then what do we need? What do we got left? We're not doing 1 and 3. We need a 6. That is a 6. This is not a 6. Okay, and then what have we got in the column? We've got 5 and 7, and the 5 on the right will give us the order of those two, which then, interestingly, so the 5 and 7 are there, partly because they're not in the orange cage over here, they're in the orange cage over here, but then this 5 disambiguates the last 2 in the orange. Okay, very nice. This is interesting. The toroidal thing really messes with your head a little bit, but it's kind of fun. So 5, we know there's a 5 somewhere up here. Yeah, that's not super helpful. Oh, there's a 5 here. That 2 gives us that 5. 5, 5. So there's a 5 up here. Don't know much more than that yet. Are the whispers any help here? This whisper feels like it's gonna go like that, but it could also be like 2 short whispers. So this one goes across here. So let's look at that. So purple and green. If these are low, this is 1, 3, this is 1, 2, or 3. So those could be a lot of things. If these are high, right, this would have to be a 6, because you already got 7, 8, and 9 in there. That would force this to be a 1. This would also be 6 because of the 8, 9 there. This would be 6. 6, 1, 6 is possible, I think. 6, 1, 6 if the purple is high. If the purple is low, this is 1, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This could be a lot of things. So, unfortunately, that's not quite enough yet. Can't quite get it. This is interesting. This German whisper goes off the grid, so it connects to there. And, you can't put a 5 on a German whisper line, right? Because there's nothing that's at least 5 away from 5. So this is a 2 or a 7. So if it's a 2, then this is 7, 8, or 9. If it's a 7, then this would be 2. So, interestingly, if this is a 2, this can't be a 2. If this is a 7, this is a 2. This one can't be a 2 either way. But we can't do the same thing with 7, because this is 2. This could still be 8 or 9, I think. Okay. And we don't know for sure that that's just the 2-cell German whisper. It could continue over here. It could continue up here. We don't really know too much. So, where do we look next? This is kind of wild how we've gotten a lot figured out, and we're still not getting there. 1, 3, 5, 6 for the row. This is not a 1. Well, this can't be a 5 because of the German whisper lines. So this is 1, 3, or 6, which we already knew. If it's a 6, it's a 1. If it's a 1 or a 3, you got lots of options. But this is 1, 6, 8, or 9. I guess we can say that. Is there something with cages we need to do still? We know there's a cage here that connects up to these two, at least. But we don't know the sum, so what good does that do? Well, we know there's an 8 in the middle. We know there's a 9 up here. There's a 5 down here. 5 down here. It's 5 up here. We have to remember to do Sudoku sometimes, too. It's easy to get focused on the other stuff and forget about Sudoku, but I'm not seeing Sudoku that helps at this point. The 9, this can still be 1 or 3. That's fine with the 9. 2 or 3 with the 9 is fine. 2 or 3 with the 8 is fine. I'm probably missing something obvious, but I feel like maybe it's a cage thing or German whispers thing. Well, there's German whispers here. Is that helpful? Well, this can't be 5. Oh, this can't be 5 because of the German whisper. This is a 1, 3, 6. This is a 5 over here. Okay. Something. So one of these two is a 6, which therefore means whichever one of those is a 6, you have to have a 1 across from it on the German whisper. So one of these two is a 1. So that's not a 1, okay? Well, that's something. And the other one is a low, because one of these is a 6. The other one is a 1 or a 3. So one of these is 6 and then 1. One of them is 1 or 3 with 6, 8, or 9. It's not super helpful. But we can say that this is purple and this is green. If this is high, it has to be a 6. If it's low, it can be 1, 2, or 3. There's too many possibilities there. We do know there's 4 and 8 in here. Don't know that that's helpful, but okay. This is another German whisper in here. I guess let's look at it and see. If this is low, it's 2 or 4. If this is low, it's 2, 3, or 4. But 4 across from 9, that doesn't seem to be a problem yet. If it's high, it's 7, 8, or 9. If this is high, it's 6, 8, or 9. Yeah, see, there's too many possibilities there. Well, we already know there's the 6 here. So I guess they can't be 6. Okay, what's left in the box here? How about that? 2, 3, 4, and 6. Ah, these are not 3, 6. So these are not 2, 4. So this is 3, 6. That's not a 2. This is now low, which means this is high. Yep, but okay, well, those are still possible though, aren't they? We don't know which way those go yet, but these are 5, 7, 8, and 9. And these are 2, 4, 8, and 9. This is on a German whisper, so it can't be the 5. So this is the 5 for the row. Okay. We still don't know if this is the sum of the cage here. Ah, but we do know these two are in the same cage as these two, and you can't repeat a digit in a cage, so this can't be a 5. This is the 5. There we go. Okay, 24. Now we've got our sum. These are 2 and 7, so that can't be a 7. So these are at least 9. These are at least 14. That's 14. So these two have to be 10 to make 24. The only way you can do that is 1 and 9, 8, 9. Wow. Okay, so the 9, so this is not an 8 because the 9 is high, so the 2, 4 has to be low. This is not a 9. This is not 8 or 9. This is a 7, which makes it a 2 because of the German whisper. 4, 2. That 7 connects to here, which has to be a 2, and a 7. The 2 down below makes this a 4. These are not 4. Then what? Now we're making some progress. These are not 1s. Ah, and the 9 gives us the 3 and the 9. This is now not 3. So this is not 1. One of them is this. This can be a 1. Oh, it's 1, 6, 8, or 9. Yeah. So one of these is 6 with 1. The other one, yeah, not quite sure. It's probably something I should see there. 6, 1, this would be 3. 3, 1, yeah, that's okay. Something with a cage or... Well, this one is interesting. This cage, where can it connect to? Because remember, the sum has to be in the leftmost cell of the topmost row. So this obviously is not the leftmost cell of the topmost row, but when it comes down here, where's it going to connect to? I think it has to connect over there. I don't know what that does for us, but I think it has to connect over there. Okay, well, this one can't be a 9. Oh, this one can't be a 9 either, actually. Look, 9, 9. Ah, this is a 9. That's a 9 right there. Because we had the 2 9s here and the 2 9s here. That's a 9. Okay, so now we're getting this cage figured out. Okay, so it just comes down to here. It's just those 6 cells. So 23 and... I'm going to get rid of the 1s there for a second. I know that those need to be 1s. It was covering the 23. 23 and 6. So you can think of that also as... Because they're all in the same box, right? So the whole box is 45. So these 3 cells have to be 22. 45 minus 23. And we've already got the 9. So that leaves 13. These two need to be 13. They can't be 9, 4. They can't be 6, 7. I think they have to be 8, 5. That's interesting, which means these are not 8. Those are a 1, 6 pair. So this is either 6, 1 or 3, 6. But 3, 6... is only a difference of 3, so that doesn't work. So this has to be the one with the 6 and 1 and 6. This is 3. Now we're getting somewhere. This is not 6. This is low, and it's after the 6, so it has to be the 1. These are not 1. These are going to be 2 and 3. The 1 down below gives us the 6 and the 1. Very nice. The 6 up here gives us the 7 and the 6 there. Okay, now I think we're finishing up. This is the 4 because of the 5, 8 pair to the left. 8, 6. These are 2, 3, and 4 to finish the row. This is not 3 or 4. So the 2 is going to give us the 3 on the left, which makes that one a 4, 3, 2. Now we're just finishing up. We finally broke the puzzle. 7 and 8. And the 5, 8 pair will give us the order of those. These are 1 and 3. And the 1 on the right gives us the order of those. This is a 3 to finish the row. These can't be 4 and 6. So they're 8. The 6 there, 4, 6. Now, the 5 down below gives us the 8 and the 5 order. That 8 will give us the 2 and the 8. And now we just have, what do we have there? A 2 and a 7 and a 4 to finish the puzzle. You have slain the Minotorus and escaped the labyrinth. Well done. All right, well, that was a very interesting puzzle. And now my camera is too bright. I feel like I'm shining, but whatever. The lighting keeps changing as the sun goes across the window because that took me 35 minutes. So I don't know if that was a good or a bad time, but that's what it took me. So there you go. If you solved this puzzle, let me know how it went for you. And whether you solved it yourself or were just following along with me, let me know what you thought of this puzzle. And of course, thanks again to bolgat for making, or I hopefully that's how you say that, but for making the Labyrinth of the Minotorus. It's like the Minotaur, but it's a toroidal puzzle, the Taurus, Minotorus. So very clever puzzle, neat idea. It didn't ever really give until right at the end. It was so many different things to look at. And a few times it felt like, well, that's just a short 2-cell German whisper. That's not going to be very helpful. And that was the thing I needed to look at. So very interesting puzzle. So very cool. Let me know what you thought of it. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.